There's a quiet moment many of us know all too well. The morning light slips through the curtains, soft and gentle. But your body doesn't feel gentle at all. Your legs feel like they're made of something heavier than flesh and bone, maybe even stone. You sit up slowly, feeling every ache, every creak, as if your body is whispering memories of decades past into your joints. You look out the window and see the world moving forward. Birds flitting across the sky, neighbors walking briskly down the street, and you wonder, was I ever that light on my feet? You remember dancing at weddings, chasing grandchildren around the yard, or just being able to stand long enough to make your favorite stew without needing a chair nearby. But now it's different. Maybe you've noticed how hard it's become to get up from the couch, or how your knees protest when you climb stairs. Perhaps you've watched friends struggle, fall, or pull away from life because their bodies no longer feel trustworthy. And deep inside, you might be asking yourself, is this just what getting older means? Is this the only path ahead? But what if it didn't have to be? What if there was a way to reclaim some of that strength, not with drastic diets or impossible routines, but with small, thoughtful choices that honor your body and protect your independence? Because here's the truth. Aging doesn't have to mean weakness. In fact, it can be a time of renewed purpose, clarity, and even vitality. If we listen to our bodies, understand what supports them, and gently guide ourselves toward better health. So today, let's talk about something simple, yet powerful, something you may not have considered before. Let's talk about the foods that could be quietly working against you, especially if your legs are already struggling. Because the right choices, starting with what you eat, can help you walk taller, stand stronger, and live more freely. Are you ready to take that step? Let's talk about something that affects more of us than we like to admit. Weak legs. It might start subtly. Maybe you feel it when you stand up from dinner a little slower than before, or when climbing into bed takes just a bit more effort. At first, you brush it off. Everyone slows down with age, you tell yourself. But then one day, you realize how much you've been adjusting, sitting instead of standing at family gatherings, skipping walks you used to love, or even avoiding stairs altogether. And it's not just about being able to get around. Weak legs can mean losing something far greater, your independence. Imagine not being able to take your grandchild's hand for a walk in the park. Imagine turning down an invitation because you're unsure if your body will hold up. Picture watching life unfold around you while you sit on the sidelines, not because you don't want to be there, but because your legs won't let you. This isn't just about physical strength. It's about dignity, about freedom, about being able to live your life on your own terms, not dictated by aching knees or trembling thighs. The truth is, muscle weakness doesn't always come just from age. Sometimes it's what we eat that plays a quiet but powerful role in how strong or fragile we become. You've likely heard about exercise being important for leg strength. And yes, staying active matters. But today, I want to talk about something even closer to home. Something you interact with every single day. Food. Not just any food, but 5 specific fruits that for seniors with weak legs may be doing more harm than good. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Fruit is healthy. Why would I stop eating it? And you're absolutely right. Fruit has many benefits, but as we age, our bodies change. Our metabolism slows. Our muscles need different kinds of support. And some foods we once thought were harmless, can actually interfere with the strength we so desperately want to preserve. What I'm going to share with you today isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. Because knowledge is power. And when you understand how your body responds to what you eat, you gain back control. Control over your mobility, your energy, and ultimately, your quality of life. So let's dive in together. Let's uncover the hidden truths behind these 5 fruits and discover how making small changes at the grocery store could make a big difference in how you feel. Ready? Let's begin. Let me tell you a story. Not about someone far away or some scientific breakthrough in a lab, but about someone much closer to home. A few years ago, I met a woman named Evelyn. She was 78, sharp as a tack, with eyes that still danced when she laughed. But her legs told a different story. She walked with a cane, not because she wanted to, but because her knees had become unreliable. She used to walk every morning along the lake near her home. But now, just getting up from her chair felt like a battle. She came to me asking one simple question: is there anything I can do to feel strong again? I asked her about her habits, how she moved, how she slept, what she ate. Most of it was good. She cooked at home, stayed hydrated, even tried gentle yoga. But then we talked about something most people don't think twice about: fruit. Not the sugary snacks or processed treats, but the fresh, natural kind. The kind we've all been told is good for us. And that's when I noticed something interesting. Evelyn ate fruit almost constantly throughout the day. Apples, oranges, bananas, sometimes even smoothies packed with berries and pineapple. She believed she was doing everything right. But here's the thing. What's healthy for a 30-year-old isn't always the same for someone in their 70s or 80s. You see, as we age, our bodies change in ways we often don't realize until they start holding us back. And some fruits, ones we once thought were harmless or even beneficial, can actually interfere with muscle strength, balance, and energy levels in subtle but powerful ways. What if the fatigue you feel isn't just getting older? What if the weakness in your legs isn't inevitable, but something you can influence? What if the key to walking taller, standing longer, and moving more freely wasn't hidden in a pill or a fancy supplement, but sitting quietly in your kitchen? Because that's where we're headed next. We're going to take a closer look at 5 fruits that may be working against you, especially if your legs are already struggling. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Let's begin. Let's start with something simple, but deeply powerful: nutrition after 70. You've spent a lifetime feeding your body. You've raised families, celebrated birthdays, shared meals with loved ones. Food has always been more than fuel. It's been love, comfort, tradition. But now things are different. Your appetite may have changed. Your digestion might protest certain foods. And sometimes, even when you eat well, you still feel tired, or weak, or like your body isn't responding the way it used to. That's because as we age, our bodies change, not just on the outside, but deep inside. Our metabolism slows. Our muscles need more protein to stay strong. Our bones ask for different nutrients, and some foods that once gave us energy can now actually drain it if we're not careful. Think of your body like an old house. It's still standing, still full of memories and meaning. But over time, the floors creak more, the pipes groan, and the walls settle. If you want to keep living comfortably in it, you don't ignore the signs. You listen, you repair, you nourish, and the same goes for your body. I remember another senior I worked with, Henry. He was 82, lived alone, and every day he made himself a big bowl of fruit salad for breakfast. He thought he was doing everything right. But he was always tired. His legs felt heavy. He couldn't walk to the mailbox without needing to sit down afterward. When we looked deeper, we realized something surprising. His diet was low in protein and high in natural sugars from fruit. That imbalance was making it harder for his muscles to rebuild and recover each day. So we made small changes. We added eggs to his morning routine, a bit of yogurt with nuts, less fruit at once. And slowly he started to feel better, not overnight, but day by day. Because here's the truth: nutrition after 70 isn't about strict rules or punishing diets. It's about giving your body what it truly needs now, not what it needed 20 years ago. Have you ever felt like Henry? Like you're eating right, but still not feeling strong? If so, you're not alone. And the good news is, this is something you can change. Now, let's take that understanding and dive into the heart of today's message, the 5 fruits that may be quietly working against you, especially if your legs are already struggling. Are you ready? Let's begin with the first one. Let's take a step back from the kitchen table for a moment and look at something just as important to your strength, though you might not expect it. Have you ever noticed how your body feels when your heart is heavy? It's an odd connection, isn't it? We often think of our legs as separate from our emotions, but they're not. They're part of the same system, your whole self. And when you feel lonely, isolated, or disconnected, it doesn't just sit in your mind. It settles into your bones, your muscles, your will to move. I remember a man named Frank. He was 76, lived alone after his wife passed, and had started skipping meals because eating alone just didn't feel right anymore. His daughter brought him fruit every week to keep him healthy. Apples, grapes, oranges. He ate them without thinking twice. But it wasn't just the fruit that weakened him. It was the silence, the emptiness, the lack of conversation, of laughter, of purpose. And here's what science tells us. Loneliness isn't just a feeling. It's a stressor. It raises inflammation in the body, weakens the immune system, and yes, even affects muscle strength. When we don't feel connected, we stop moving as much. We lose motivation. We begin to slow down physically and mentally. Frank told me once, I used to walk 3 miles a day with my wife. Now I can barely make it to the porch without wanting to sit back down. That's how deep this goes. Your legs aren't just made of muscle and bone. They're made of story, of memory, of meaning. And when life feels lighter, when you feel seen and heard, your body somehow remembers how to carry you forward. So ask yourself this. Have you noticed how your body responds when you feel truly at peace? Maybe it's during a call with a grandchild, or a visit from a neighbor, or even sitting quietly with a good book. In those moments, do your shoulders relax? Do your legs feel less stiff? Does walking seem easier? Because it is. Taking care of your emotional health isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for your heart, your mind, and yes, even your legs. And as we continue exploring the foods that may be holding you back, keep this in mind. Healing always starts from within. Are you still with me? Good. Let's talk about the first fruit you may want to avoid if your legs are struggling. Let's shift gears now, from understanding the problem to discovering the solution. Because here's what I want you to know. You don't need a complete lifestyle overhaul to feel stronger. You don't have to go back to running marathons or follow complicated meal plans that make your head spin. What you need are small, meaningful changes, ones that fit into your life the way it is right now. Let me share something with you from my own experience. I once worked with a woman named Mabel. She was 79, lived in her own home, and had been struggling with weak legs for years. The idea of changing her diet or starting an exercise routine felt too big, too much. So instead of pushing her into something overwhelming, we started with just 2 simple things. A morning routine that took 5 minutes, one small change at the grocery store. Every morning, she did a few gentle seated stretches while sipping warm water with lemon. It wasn't fancy, but it got her blood moving and helped wake up her muscles. And at the store, she simply swapped out one high-sugar fruit for a protein-rich snack, like a handful of almonds or a boiled egg. That was it. No gym. No strict rules. Just 2 tiny habits that honored her body and gave it what it truly needed. And guess what? After just a few weeks, she told me, I can feel the difference. My legs don't give out as easily. I actually enjoy walking to the mailbox now. Now, I'm not saying these changes will turn back time, but they can slow it down. They can help you feel more stable, more energized, more like you again. So let's talk about how you can start building your own small but powerful routine, one that supports your legs, your energy, and your independence. Ask yourself this. What's one small change you could try this week? Maybe it's adding a bit more protein to your meals. Maybe it's doing some gentle leg lifts while watching your favorite show. Or maybe it's simply becoming more mindful of which fruits you eat and when. Whatever it is, take that step, because every journey begins with just one. Ready to move forward? Let's now look closely at the first fruit you may want to avoid if you're working to regain your strength. Let's take a moment to talk about something deeper, something that doesn't show up on blood tests or x-rays, but lives quietly in your bones, your breath, your spirit. It's called purpose. You've lived a long life. You've loved, you've worked, you've raised children or mentored others, maybe even changed careers, survived hardships, celebrated victories. But as the years pass, it's easy to feel like the world has moved on without you, like your role has faded. And sometimes that sense of being less needed can make you feel less strong. But here's what I've learned from working with so many seniors like you. When you have something to live for, you live longer, stronger, and more fully. I remember meeting a man named Walter. He was 81, recovering from a fall that left him shaken and unsure if he'd walk normally again. At first, he focused only on his body, on the pain, the weakness, the fear of falling again. But the more we talked, the more I realized his real struggle wasn't just physical. He felt disconnected. His wife had passed. His children were busy with their own lives. He spent most days alone. So we did something different. We didn't start with exercise or nutrition. We started with meaning. I asked him, "What do you want the next chapter of your life to feel like?" At first he paused. Then he said, "I used to love gardening. I miss the feel of dirt in my hands." So we found a community garden nearby. He began volunteering 2 mornings a week, watering plants, helping kids plant seeds, sharing stories with other seniors who missed having a reason to get up each day. And something beautiful happened. Not only did his balance improve, but his confidence returned. He stood taller, walked further, smiled more. Because when you give your life meaning, your body remembers how to move. Aging isn't just about slowing down. It's about finding new ways to grow, to connect, to heal. So I ask you now, what do you want the next chapter of your life to feel like? Whatever that answer is, hold on to it. Because that feeling is your compass, your motivation, your strength. Now let's return to the foods that may be holding you back and discover the first fruit you may want to avoid if you're serious about regaining your leg strength. You made it this far. That means something. It means you still care. You still hope. You still believe that your body isn't done yet, and neither are you. And I want you to hear this clearly. You are not too old. You are not past your prime. Your body still listens when you treat it with kindness, wisdom, and love. This journey we've taken together, from understanding how food affects your strength to recognizing the deep connection between your heart and your legs, isn't about quick fixes or impossible goals. It's about awareness. It's about choice. It's about giving your body what it truly needs now, not what it needed 20 years ago, not what someone else says is right for you, but what feels real and right for you today. Maybe that means being more mindful of the fruits you eat. Maybe it means adding a little more protein to your meals. Or maybe it starts with simply standing up a little straighter, walking a few extra steps, or choosing one small habit that honors your strength. Whatever it is, you're already on the path. And here's the beautiful truth. Healing doesn't always look dramatic. It looks like waking up one morning and realizing your legs feel lighter. Like walking through your home without needing to hold onto the walls. Like laughing with a grandchild and realizing you stood long enough to enjoy every moment. That's what this is about. Not just living longer, but living fully. So as you walk away from this video, remember, your body hasn't given up on you, and neither should you. This is your time. Start now, even if it's slow, because every small step you take is still yours. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. And most of all, thank you for still believing in yourself. Before we part ways for now, I want to leave you with something quiet, but powerful. A question. Not one to pressure you, but one to sit with. What was one thing that made you think differently today? Was it learning how certain fruits may affect your strength in ways you hadn't considered? Or maybe it was the reminder that your body still responds when you give it what it needs, even at 70, even at 80, even at 90. Or perhaps it was the story of someone like you, someone who thought their best days were behind them, only to discover that strength can return, even late in life. Whatever it was, hold on to it, because awareness is the first step. And now you have it. So here's my gentle challenge to you. What small change will you try starting tomorrow morning? Maybe it's reading food labels more carefully. Maybe it's swapping out one fruit for a protein-rich snack. Or maybe it's simply doing a few gentle leg lifts while you sip your morning tea. Start where you are. Take just one step. You don't have to do everything at once. Just one thoughtful choice can begin to shift the course of your health. And if this message touched your heart, I hope you'll share it with someone who needs to hear it too. Tag a friend. Leave a comment below. Tell us your story. We're all in this together. This channel isn't just about information. It's about connection, about wisdom shared, about growing stronger, not just in body, but in spirit. So thank you for watching, for reflecting, for caring enough about yourself to take this journey seriously. If this resonated with you, please subscribe. We're walking this path together, one thoughtful step at a time. Until next time, be well, be kind, and remember, you're never too old to feel strong again.